What's up, everyone? Happy New Year. This is Kara Corey here, registered dietitian, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about a video that I do every year. I'm a little late with it this year, but I'm going to talk to you guys about 2018 and the upcoming food trends that we may or may not see. I've done this video for a couple years now, and I always have fun doing it. The way I go about this, if you're curious, is I like to search online and get a variety of different sources and kind of see what the upcoming trends are that they're projecting. And last year when I did this, I remember it was very consistent across the board, the different sites and the different resources I looked at. And this year it's kind of all over the place with what people are predicting are going to be our top food trends or top diet trends, what's going to die in 2018. So, there's differing of opinions out there. So I just kind of compiled what I would like to see for 2018 and what I do think you guys are going to see. I think it's good to be aware of this because it's, consumer demand, what we're putting out there, what we're projecting as consumers with what we're purchasing and what our wants are. Companies are going to listen to that. So really, the more our voice is heard with what we want to see in terms of changes made to the, in the restaurants and food marketing, things of that nature, it's going to be based on what we're purchasing, what we're spending our money on. So it is good to be cognizant of that and, let your voice be heard. Go on, girl. So we're gonna get right into it, and I think some of these do overlap with last year. The fact being that certain trends are sticking around and they're just increasingly becoming more popular. So the first one that I think we're gonna continue to see is an increase in plant-based diets. In 2017, veganism became that much more popular and we saw an increase in vegan diets. I believe we're going to continue to see that in 2018 because we're just seeing a general trend of people becoming more aware of health, more aware of plant-based diets. And when you think about a plant-based diet, it's, going to be whole, nutritious foods rich in fruits and vegetables and less processed foods. And so from a dietitian standpoint, this is something I'm definitely on board with. Well, yes, I'm not vegan, but it's still a movement that I'm definitely on board with and I fully support. And I do think for a lot of us, it's not a bad idea to incorporate more plant-based proteins, more plant-based meals throughout our week. If anything, it just gives you some variety. I know for myself, I get sick of meat. So I do think we're going to continue to see this trend in 2018. Side note, Mark did come out with Pervitum, which is like the best vegan protein. You guys can get that at tigerfitness.com. Been using that in a bunch of recipes. No, this isn't an ad or anything. I just wanted to throw that out there. It's nice to have that variety in there. So I think we're going to continue to see that going into 2018. The second food trend I think we're going to see, if you call it like a food trend, is more food transparency. And this is something that I think we could all fully support. As consumers, we really want to know how our food is being manufactured. It's becoming more and more important to us as the consumer. We're becoming more health aware and we want to know what we're putting in our bodies. We want to know how it was made. For those of us that eat meat, down to the point that we want to know how these animals were treated. So there's all these factors that we're now taking into consideration when we're putting food in our body. It's not just picking it up and eating it. We're actually thinking about the manufacturing of this food. We're thinking about how the animals were raised, where they were raised, and things of that nature. So I think we're going to see marketing done to kind of satisfy that need from the consumer. So whether it's something that is GMO free, that's becoming more important to consumers, putting that on the label, whether it's responsibly grown or like organic, the way things were raised in terms of meat. You're going to see more of those marketing claims on food products because we've shown it's more important to us when we're purchasing food. Organic, fair trade, all those types of things. For consumers to feel better about the food choices that they're making, to feel like we're putting food in our body that is going to be healthier for us, essentially. So I think we're going to see more transparency and more information being thrown at us in terms of how our food is produced. Now, let me just caution you with that too. You still need to be educated about what the claims mean when you're looking at food labels, and I'm actually going to have a separate video go up about that, discussing more about food claims and being an educated consumer when it comes to doing your shopping. But I think that's a great movement to move towards. A few foodie type trends I want to mention that I think we're going to see in 2018. One being more portable proteins, which I am a big fan of because I feel like sometimes when you're trying to get protein in, it's hard to have portable protein on the go. And I've seen a big increase with like the tuna fish packets. If you buy those, I love those. I frequently have them laying around in my purse and in my car. They're coming out with all different types of flavors of the different tuna fish packets, making them a little bit more appealing and a little bit easier to have some type of protein on the go. You're also seeing other little, nut and, cheese mixes and cottage cheese, like single serve. So they're trying to kind of satisfy that need in the market for us to want portable protein, things that are easy to take with us to meet our protein needs. So I think you guys are going to see more variety of those types of items. We're also going to continue to see in 2018 the non-dairy alternatives. Non-dairy has been on the rise for, I would say, like the past 5 to 6 years. At first it was just a true need, medically, or for those folks that couldn't tolerate dairy. And now it's become a bit more trendy, if you will, or maybe in terms of being health conscious. Some people view dairy differently than others. I'm not going to get into that in this video. However, we're seeing more of a need and a demand for milk alternatives. So there's all types of different nut milk varieties out there. Shelf-stable stuff is available now. Different sizes, different flavors. Milks continually are increasing. We've seen this past year with like the almond, coconut, cashew blends. There's different nuts coming on the market that they're turning into milks, that they're milking. And there's also going to be more varieties you're going to see of like your dairy-free yogurt, cottage cheese, any of those alternatives that were once super hard to find. If you think about it, if you were someone that was not consuming dairy 5+ years ago, you probably didn't have an easy time trying to get these alternatives with yogurt. It was very limited, and now we have all these other options, the almond cheese yogurts and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to continue to see in this new year more options for your dairy-free alternatives. Another foodie trend that I think we're going to keep seeing that I'm a big fan of is like your lower sugar, like bubbly beverage alternatives. So I think of LaCroix, I always say that wrong and I get made fun of. LaCroix is like the fancy name. I think it's like a sparkling beverage. It's just like a water. I don't believe there's any sugar in it, so it's a no sugar variety. A better way to get in your hydration if you're someone who's not a water drinker, maybe you've been a soda drinker. It's a nice alternative that offers something a bit healthier where you're not going to be drinking all your calories. They have tons of good flavors out there, so for me as a dietitian, when I hear people struggle to get in their hydration, I feel like there's no excuse. There are so many different ways to get in your hydration and to do it in a healthy manner. There's so many different options out there. So you just have to get creative and find a way that works for you. And again, coming into 2018, we're going to see tons more options out there when you go to the grocery store. Now, speaking of grocery stores, that is another new trend that we're going to see increase in 2018. And that is the increase in online grocery shopping, which I'm torn about because I find it super cool and convenient. I mean, I live in a country, so for me to online grocery shop, I don't know if it's necessary. I feel like people in big cities may utilize this more where they don't have the same transportation. Maybe you're hopping on a bus and it's just easier to have groceries delivered to you. But I just love grocery shopping. I love going to the grocery store and walking through a grocery store. But let's face it, it's 2018. Life is super busy. We just keep getting busier and busier as we get further along in life, and we're expected to do more with the same amount of hours in the day. So if there's a way to kind of take something off your plate, grocery shopping could take you, 1 to 2 hours a week, depending on who you're shopping for. So you're seeing more stores online offer options with online grocery shopping where they either deliver it to you or they have pickup service. You're seeing an increase in meal prep companies. You guys know I caution about that. You can check out my Bite Meals video in case you're curious about meal delivery companies, or meal prep services, I should say. But we're seeing more of that. And I think part of that is just our busy lives. And there's an obvious need there because another common complaint is we don't have enough time to meal prep. And I'm guilty of that myself, that there's so much to do that, prepping out healthy, nutritious meals for the week, it sometimes falls lower on my list of things that I complete during the day. So again, you're going to see more of this in 2018. I wanted to take a minute too and kind of comment on some of the diet trends on top of the food trends. I think a couple biggies that became very popular in 2017, I feel like they became more popular, I think, that are still going to stick around in 2018 would be keto. Keto, I feel like, really blew up in 2017, and I think we're going to see it remain a big diet trend in 2018. The research on it is still coming out, and while it's not something I necessarily prescribe for people, and I'm not against it, there is a lot of literature out there to support benefits of keto diet. So more to come on that. More people I think you're going to see following a keto diet. And the other one is the whole 30 diet. That one's been very popular. Again, I know that one's been around for a little bit of time, but I think that one's gaining more popularity. And that's cool. I mean, there's always going to be certain diets that are going to be trending. And if you think about it, they kind of circle, they come full circle, they swing back around sometimes. Different things fall off the radar. But every year there's something new and different that kind of appeals to the current trends and the current market that's out there, especially being in the new year with the New Year's resolution. Most people's New Year's resolution is to lose weight. So you're going to see more of these kind of catchy diet trends coming around. And, the biggest thing I would say is just do what works for you as long as it's not harming your health. Just a few other things that I feel like we did see in 2017, but are here to stay through 2018. One of those being intermittent fasting, which I've known about. I've got some older videos on this topic as I've used it in my past bikini preps and found it very effective. I feel like that is continuing to increase, intermittent fasting. The research we're hearing on that, different styles of intermittent fasting, the research is coming out on it. And, I'm even hearing people not in the bodybuilding world who are into it and doing it, like just random people I've heard that, I'm intermittent fasting, whereas before it was kind of something I only heard about in like the bodybuilding world when like the Hodge twins were doing it. Now you're hearing all kinds of people implementing it to help them reach their weight loss goals. So I think that's something that's going to stick around in the new year. The other thing that I've seen trending and I think is going to continue to get bigger is like products like for aging, like beauty products. We're now like consuming beauty products through food. So like collagen powders and things like that are to help with like your skin and how you look and aging and staying young. I feel like that's becoming more trendy to be more aware of what we're consuming in our diet in terms of the aging process. We're all very aware of how we look and, wanting to look good. And I think that's why like the Botox and the fillers is just, all our 20-year-olds are doing that now. So I think we're all very aware of, the aging process and wanting to look good. Who doesn't want to look good? So we're seeing more of those types of products out there that are trying to gear towards, looking good. So I think those are going to stick around in 2018 as well. So I think those are all the top trends I can think of. I'd like to hear from you guys what your thoughts are if you didn't hear me name something that you think is going to be a big trend. Oh wait, there is one more that I do want to mention because I believe I mentioned this in 2017's video in terms of sustainability. And there is kind of a new movement that's like root to stem eating. So I think we're becoming more aware too of decreasing the amount of food waste. And so it's an absolute need. I am 100% guilty of it. So I mention it to maybe make you guys aware of it too. but about 40% or something ridiculous of the amount of food produced in the US goes to waste. So there's this new movement now trying to find ways that we're not wasting food. So if you think about food in terms of broccoli, I'm a big broccoli person. I cut those stems right off. I throw them in the garbage. Well, we're trying to become more cognizant of not doing that and not wasting that food, that nutrition that could be utilized. So there's people behind this movement creating more recipes, creating more ideas, ways to kind of reproduce the food, ways to use the food so we're not wasting it, so we're not throwing it out. So I am definitely guilty of this, and it's something to be aware of, be mindful of, in terms of just thinking about the environment that we live in and the amount of food we waste. So I think you're going to see more of that too in 2018. So again, if you guys have other things you think I missed, that diet trends, food trends that you think we're going to see or you want to see, comment below. I'm really interested. It's always really fun to kind of hear what people think are going to be new and trending in the new year. So I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.